So welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Show. This is Murray, all the way from Perth, Australia. It's a good morning for me, but it's going to be a good evening to my guest today. We are going to the US, and just to give you a little bit, a snip on the guest today. So my guest today is Dr. DeLois Jackson. And she is one of the co-author of the last book of the visionary Alison Daniel, Empowered to Win, the 4th edition. And she's going to talk about a chapter today. Let us know, a bit more, give us a bit more insight on the chapter. Obviously, she's not going to say everything because the objective is for you to have the book, buy the book and read it. So at least, I hope she's going to inspire you to go and buy this book. This book is about, stories from women who have, used their trials and tribulation to make a difference. And the 4th edition of Empower, this is the 4th edition. And I hope, this edition if you buy it, will empower you and help you to go to the next level of your greatness, because that's what this show is all about. So let us know if you're watching live. Let us know where you're watching from. Don't hesitate to participate. If you have any question to DeLois, she will be more than happy to help you. And if you just want to participate and give, some, a bit more, energy to the conversation, you're more than welcome. Just, put, everything in the comment area. So, as you know, my name is Murray Tulekima, and I'm known as the Greatness Engineer. And this show is brought to you by the Murray Tulekima Global Leadership Organization, which is an organization who help, people to step into their greatness and become the best version of themselves. So we're going to start the show, and I hope that you will enjoy, this time with us. So don't go anywhere. I'm bringing my guest today. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Murray Tulekima Global Leadership Organization.
Real is important is if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily actions.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Please. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others, and you are not alone.
So welcome, Dr. DeLois. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Show. It is my pleasure to have you here, and it is my pleasure to talk about an amazing book. And congratulations on making, the best Amazon bestseller. I'm also one of the co-author of the book. We are so excited. And just to start, the conversation, if you could just, let us know who you are and really, what's really important to know about you before we delve into the chapter, in the book.
Good evening. Good evening. And thank you so much for having me. Good morning to everyone over in Australia. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's exciting. And yes, as you mentioned earlier, I am Dr. DeLois Jackson, and I am in Florida. I'm an author, entrepreneur. I own a pre-K through 12 private school, and my passion is to teach or coach teen moms, help them to grow in purpose and in grace, to let them know that just because we were teen moms, we don't have to be stop at that point. We can still accomplish our aspirations, our dreams. I am an author of 4 published books, and just became a bestseller author in 2 anthologies this week,
Whoa,
tomorrow. So
congratulations.
really excited about that. And I have a new book that's going to be released this summer. And the title of that book is Rising Above All Odds, From Diapers to Diplomas.
Wow. So quite a lot and quite an accomplished, offer from what I see. And so today we're going to talk about, focus our conversation of one of the book, like I mentioned, best-selling, book called, Empower to Win. And just wanted to know what is the title of your chapter and what really led you to be, part of this anthology.
The title of my chapter is Blossoming Beyond the Battle.
Mm-hmm.
I chose Blossoming Beyond the Battle because I am a breast cancer survivor. And I wanted people to know that just because you have cancer or any other deadly, diseases, that it's not the end. Because as long as we have Christ in our life, you trust God to do what He does best. He is the great physician. And as I was reading the healing scriptures, I read that you shall live and not die. And I just want other people to know that just because you got that diagnosis, that doesn't have to be the end of life for you. And I wanted to partake of the anthology because I thought that people we're overcome by our testimonies. And I just believe that if we share those testimonies, it will give someone else hope. It would uplift them and give them a reason to want to live.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll keep trying. And my thing is to seek God because He has all the answers for us. And as long as we know that we have God on our side, we can get through anything.
Mm-hmm. And that's important to remember because sometimes people are just at the fence as when it comes down to trusting God. And when you go through this type of experience and you come out, you are really sure that God is there. God is actually guiding you. And whatever challenge that you had to go through, like you said, you basically, came as a conqueror. And that's the most important thing. So really, and one of the things that we need to remember from what I hear from you is that our stories are not ours. So we need to share them so that we can inspire. That's part of the work that we do for the Lord, which is sharing this story to inspire another person to really start to believe, that it is real. It is real. God is there. And when we are really down, it doesn't, abandon us. So really, really good. And so what, because obviously, going through cancer, it has been, I can imagine a very, a challenging and probably painful experience. So what was what was the feeling writing it down, and really sharing? And how do you know what to focus on? Because obviously one chapter will not tell the full story. So how do you make sure that, you focus on what's important and on the right message?
That is such an amazing question. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I had no earthly idea what to do, where to start. And that's why I want to share this story with others that's going through.
Mm-hmm.
When the doctor actually called and gave me the information over the phone. And I'm like, what is that? What am I supposed to do with that? And she says, well, you need to go and see an oncologist. And I'm like, what is an oncologist?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I was provided a navigation system. And because it was so overwhelming. And this is what I want to offer to some of the other people that I know that's going through. The navigation system was just a group of people there to help you with those phone calls, setting up those appointments for you, working with the medical staff, working with your family to make these decisions that you needed to be successful in this journey. So whether, you having the surgery, the treatment, whether it's the radiation or the chemo, whatever it is, you just have a group of people there talking to you about next steps, the things that you need to do. And so these are the type of things that I want to help other cancer patients go through. And I noticed that when I was going through the cancer center, there were no one coming in there trying to encourage you. It's a really sad situation. I went there like the first 3 days. I walk in and I'm like, good morning. And no one said anything. And it was probably like 100 people sitting out there, right? And I'm like, good morning. No one said anything. So the second day I says, good morning. And no one said anything. So I told my husband, I'm like, if they don't speak to me tomorrow, I'm just going to not speak anymore. So I went in and I spoke the third day and somebody said, morning. I was like, wow. I said, my hands is against the wall. We have cancer, and there's nothing we can do about it, but cancer was just right for God. I said, God, if you heal me, I'm going to die, but I'm going to encourage everybody here as long as I can. And so when it was time for me to finish my treatment after 7 weeks, and it was time for me to leave, and it's like, you can't leave us. You can't leave us. I'm like, the first 3 days, you didn't even want to see.
Yeah.
But I just want to be that source, that tool, whatever it is that they need. If I need to take them to an appointment, if I need to help them in any kind of way, make a phone call or whatever, I want to be that I did not have when I was going through it. My husband was there, my kids were there, but I want to be that person, because if you have to work, you can always have someone else to take you and do the things that you weren't able to do for yourself.
Exactly. And I can imagine, you're already kind of scared and, not knowing really what it's, where you go, where to start. And then even a good morning, you don't get it. So it must have been a stressful experience, and you obviously don't want anybody to go through it. Absolutely. And I understand that, you want to, step up and try to ease the process for anyone who's going through, especially, there's quite a few people now, and we've seen a tendency, even young people, young women having cancer, and so it's really important that we stay positive in the process and have a positive energy coming to us through all people we interact with. So we're gonna have a break, and we will be back to continue to understand a little bit the chapter and the message that you want to send to the world through that particular chapter. So don't go anywhere. For those just joining us, my guest today is Dr. DeLois Jackson, and she is, we are in the US today, and we are talking about the chapter in the latest book, latest anthology book by visionary author Alison Daniels, Empowered to Win, the 4th edition anthology. So let's have a short break, and we will be back to continue this very inspiring conversation. To another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Biray Telekima Global Leadership Organization.
When I left Disney, I met lots of people who are entrepreneurs and just said, look, I'm starting. What advice do you have for us? And I got some great advice. And there was a few things that were key. First of all, and as you saw in the video there, keep it simple. Be simple about what problems you solve.
What are you hoping for? That means that there's a future. that means that there's something that you yet still need to be realized and materialized in your life. And if you have lost hope and you're not hoping for something, that means you're lost. So we need to get you back to the place of being able to hope again.
Trust the process. So many times we get stuck and paralyzed from taking the first step and taking action to get out of that transactional to the transformational of our own lives because we're afraid. But trust the process. Take that one little microscopic step. And I tell you that once you do that, that will increase into another step and another step and another step. So that's what I'd like to leave with you today.
My message for today is delay is not denial. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish in life. Do not stop until you get what it is you know God has for you.
So we are back. We are back with Dr. DeLois, and we are talking about a chapter in the last anthology, Empowered to Win. And Dr. DeLois, just wanted to ask you is, while going through, this process, and obviously writing the process, what do you think have been the three key things that actually allow you to be where you are today?
The three key things that allowed me to be where I am today, I would have to say God first.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to work with my medical staff as when I was going through it, and having the right attitude about what I was going through. There was nothing I can do about what I was going through, but just let go and let God.
Mm-hmm.
So by all means, God is always first. And going back to a question that you asked earlier, and I didn't finish expounding on it, about why I wanted to be part of the book. I wanted to be able to share the story, God's goodness, God's grace with the people in the world. Some people are going through and they don't know how they're going to get through it. They don't have anyone to talk to, anyone to encourage them, anyone to uplift them. Excuse me. So I wanted them to know that God is able to do whatever it is that we need him to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can think or ask. I wanted to do that because God is still healing in 2024. And I just wanted to encourage someone to let them know whatever it is, take it to God, because whatever it is, he has the answer. He has the key. And I wanted it to be for God's glory. And because I allow God to lead and guide me in every step of the way, I ask him every day to order my steps so that I can continue to walk the straight and narrow, so that I can complete the opportunities that I've asked him to allow for me, the things, my dreams, my aspirations. And he has blessed abundantly above more than I thought that I could do. When I think about, being a teen mom, even to where I am today, 4 degrees, own a private school, a 30-year successful career with the government. It's just amazing once you put your mind to doing something and God is walking there with you, you can accomplish anything that you want, but you got to stay focused, just be resilient. And I tell people a lot when they ask me, what do you think it is? And I said, that's why I want to share my journey of strength, resilience, and triumph.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's not easy by no means, but you have to stay ready.
Exactly. And that's so powerful because, like you said, you have to stay focused because, a small challenge and one obstacle can actually distract us. And with all the noise that, we hear around us, it can be, a reason for failure. So it is important that, you bring those stories where you're like, it was not easy, but I stayed focused. I stayed focused on God, and knowing that, I will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just, focusing on him, listening to his, talking to him, listening to what he has to say, and just, obeying, because I think sometimes that's the part that we miss. Just, we know, we listen, we can hear, what God is telling us, but we choose to go, the other way. And after a while, we start to, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, but you didn't implement what was asked of you. And now you are back to, to the drawing board where, you're stuck. So that's very important, to have those stories where the discipline is there, the resilience is there, and also the focus on God. So thank you for that. And how, do you think, how do you want people who are going to read, this chapter to feel after that? Or what do you want them to do? Because I'm more about action, because, we have so many, stories coming to us, so many things, knowledge, and we can find it everywhere. But the part that is missing is really, the action. So what do you expect from the readers after reading your chapter?
I want the readers to know that the battle is not ours to win. It is absolutely not ours. God will fight our battles to the end, and he will win. He will get the glory. You will always win, and you will always come out on top. It's just a fact. I want them to celebrate life every day, no matter what it is that they're going through. Celebrate life beyond your circumstances. Whether it's a little thing or a big thing, we need to celebrate life every day beyond our circumstances. And there are plenty circumstances that we go through, issues, battles that we go through. Celebrate, because we don't know when our last day is. Celebrate beyond those challenges. And then we want them to be determined to thrive triumphantly, not just, survive. I want them to thrive, but they got to put some effort into that. We can't sit and wait on God to do it. He will do it. He will give us those answers, the things that we need to do to be successful. But the bottom line is, it's a fixed fight. It's already won. And I would want them to just let go and let God, because we'll make a mess of it if we try to do it ourselves. But we got to trust God to be able to bring us through. And then share those wins.
Fantastic. And it's quite reassuring at the end, because and that's really the strange thing with you, human being. You have, you're sure that you're gonna win at the end, and like you said, it's a fixed battle, but you want to do something else, because sometimes it's just a bit too hard. But you're gonna have victory. Just keep going and keep pushing, and that's the thing that I really like, that this message gets reinforced, because we, even if we know that it's a fixed battle, we always have this those questions where we actually not actually trusting that it's a fixed battle. But hopefully, with example like that, a real life example, I think it helps, to really, get the faith. So we're gonna have another break, and then we will come back to, to continue the conversation with Dr. DeLois. And for those watching us, or for those who are gonna watch, later, let us know, where you're watching from, and if you have any particular question, put it, if you're not watching now, you can always put it in the comment, and we can address it later. I can pass it on to Dr. DeLois. But for the time being, we'll have a short break, and we will be back to continue this amazing conversation.
It's actually the result of a long journey in the oil and gas industry, working worldwide. And so I've been in this industry for 20 years. And like Deborah was saying, there's a big significance in the 20 years, because I got in this industry because I lost my dad. And at some point I just had to stop going to school. I had my bachelor. I stopped because I had to find a job, and then I got into the industry. But I managed to discover the industry and really like it. So this book is really represent a lot for me. I dedicated it to my dad actually, and also really putting together all that I've learned working in the industry as well. So through this journey, what I really realized is that when you really want something, you have to go and get it. And going and get it doesn't mean just sit down, have the idea. It's also just put a plan, implement it. Really have to start going and inform the young generation that there are opportunities, and they should actually try to embrace some of those technical career in the oil and gas industry, and that's something that needs still to be done and strategized and start really at a very young age, because it's the industry is growing in Africa, so we will need the workforce, and it's
So we are back. We are back with my guest today, Dr. DeLois. She is with us, and if you've been listening, from the beginning, it has been an inspiring conversation, and really lots of learning and lots of inspiration from the story, and the story of Dr. DeLois, especially the story with her, but going through cancer, but with God guidance, and I hope you understand the power of that. So just wanted to to ask you, Dr. DeLois. Obviously, you've had you've gone through a journey, you've gone through some challenges. You've obviously also in the process empowered yourself. So what's really the legacy that you want to leave?
The legacy that I want to leave for my family, the strength, the resilience, the triumphs that one goes through or have to go through, so that they can grow on it. Because a lot of times we don't always see the hard work that go into our foreparents. I want them to be able to see the labor that went into what's left for them.
Mm-hmm.
Remember their mother, their grandmother, the strength that she had, the will that she had, the will to live that she had, the aspirations that I have, the endurance that I go through to accomplish those things without giving up. Because when I ask God for something, I'm very sincere in what I ask him for. If he allows that door to open for me, I have to be obedient. And I want them to see the obedience in asking God, in asking anyone for something or for help. You got to be able to endure whatever it takes. You can't just stop in the middle because it doesn't feel good. We got to persevere. And that's what I want them to be able to see. Don't quit. Keep it moving. And so when they think about that in the long run, hopefully it would give them hope and aspiration to keep pushing.
Fantastic. And what I like is that, what you said, you don't just go to God when it feels, hard. It's a sustainable, relationship. It's, you have to trust him from the beginning. Even when things are good, you have to, acknowledge that he is there, he is guiding you, and you have to keep talking to him, for guidance, even when things are, going well. So just to, to know, how do people connect with you, and how can they get the book? If you can, just, spend some time to let us know.
Yes, absolutely. I do have a website. My website is TAND Enterprises. That's TAN-D Enterprises.org.
Mm-hmm.
My website, I will have all my books there. My new book, it will be there too. I am on all of the social medias. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, by DeLois Jackson or Dr. DeLois Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And my email address is actually on my website, but I can give it to you. That's DeLoisJackson@msn.com. Write me a little love note. Let me know, what I can do for you, and I will respond back within 48 hours. And I look forward to hearing from everyone.
Not a problem. It has been such a pleasure to have you. And definitely, I hope you've been inspired, by this conversation. And it has actually, convinced you to buy the book, because this is just one story. This is only one story, one, message. But there's much more. And the book is now, an Amazon a bestseller. So we are really happy with, the way things are going. But we need, the most important thing, we need this message to travel. We don't want it to stop here. We don't want it to stop just in our own, community or our own, network. We want this book to travel, and we want the book to travel far, because this is a tremendous book, and the message is really, inspiring and strong, and will help you, because this show is all about greatness. Will help you to go to the next level of your greatness, and
Yes.
and will convince you of that. So just to give you again, so the book is on Amazon, so you can get the book on Amazon. It was published on the 26th, so that's 4 days ago. So fresh and ready for you to buy it, and to to start to inspire yourself and implement whatever is shared in the book, because the implementation part is really what makes the difference. So before we leave, Dr. DeLois, any last message that you want the audience to leave with today?
Yes, I would like to just encourage the audience, to be encouraged, keep the faith, and know that God is able to do it exceedingly abundantly above all we can think or ask. And know that it's so important for us to have self-love. We gotta have self-love. The last thing I want to say was that the chapter in my book is blossoming beyond the battle. I would love to see all of you, all the whole audience, blossom beyond their circumstances. So you got to get the book. The book is an amazing book. It's life-changing. It's uplifting. It's encouraging. I'm telling you, it's a tearjerker. You really need to get the book. Awesome.
Fantastic. You will blossom, I think, after that. So thank you again, Dr. DeLois, for your time, and for, really, putting, your story out there, because, this show is global. So your story is traveling the world now. It's in Australia now, so it's traveling the world, and really, hope that it's going to inspire millions. So if you need more, if you want more information, and really understand, how you can, work, or, just, get to know more Dr. Laws. Obviously, in this short time, it's really difficult. Just connect through whatever, contact details we share today. And you can always, reach out to me if you want, and then I will connect you as well. So that's another way to do it. So thank you so much. and it is, Easter weekend. So think about what Jesus have done for us, and really, appreciate, be grateful, and really, enjoy this, freedom that he has, given us, for free. So thank you very much. So you enjoy, your weekend, Dr. DeLois. It has been a pleasure to have you on the Greatness Engineering Talk Show. Thank you very much,
Thank you
and
for having me.
so not a problem. So I will be back for 2 episodes of the Greatness Engineering Show today, later today for me, Saturday evening, but for the US, it's going to be Saturday morning. I will have first. Francina Parish. So she's going to talk about, being authentic. And I hope that you'll be, inspired as well. And I'm going to have as well here Janelle Harris is the CEO of She Exists magazine, and She Exists organization is one of the sponsors of this show. So it's going to be really good to have Janelle back here to tell us, about the journey, the greatness journey of the She Exists magazine that she actually, launched about a year and a half only. And when we see where she is, it is amazing. So that's fantastic. So join us again, later today here in Australia, but tomorrow morning for my audience in the US. So that's all for today. Blessing to all of you, and see you for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Show.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Have a blessed one.
Thanks.